This is the architecture of violence. You are here because they needed a body, not a soldier, not a warrior, a body that can carry things and not die. They will teach you the rest. This is the Roman war machine. At the bottom, surviving is the only goal. At the top, you won't need to fight at all. In between, there are 9 levels. You are going to feel every one. The wooden sword in your hand weighs twice what the real one does. This is intentional. When they finally hand you iron, your arm will not shake. Right now, it shakes. You have been here 9 days. Every morning before sunrise, you stand at the palace. The wooden post, 6 feet tall, sunk into the ground. You hit it until they tell you to stop. Then you eat grain and vinegar water, and do it again in the afternoon. You have not held a real weapon yet. The real weapons are behind a locked door in the armamentaria. You have seen that door. You are not permitted near it. There are 8 men in your tent. You did not choose them. If one of them runs, all 8 of you are punished. If one fails the morning inspection, all 8 stand in the sun. You are not learning to trust them. You are learning that their failure is your failure, permanently. The army built it this way. In 4 months, if you survive the training march, 20 Roman miles in 5 hours, with a full pack, they will let you swear the oath. Before the oath, you are legally a civilian. After the oath, desertion is a capital offense. They wait to see who breaks before they bother with the paperwork. Once the oath is sworn, you are one of 4,800. The pack on your back weighs 60 pounds. It has weighed 60 pounds every day for 3 years. You have stopped noticing it, the same way you have stopped noticing your own breathing. This is not adaptation. This is what the army calls a soldier. Your pay is 300 denarii a year. 100 goes back immediately for food, for your sandals, for maintaining the weapons they issued you. You never see that 100. The rest goes to the signifer, the standard bearer who also serves as the century's bank. You cannot withdraw freely. The system was designed this way because a soldier with nothing saved is a deserter, and a soldier who cannot touch his savings until discharge is a soldier who stays. Every night on campaign, a camp must be built. 2 hours of digging a ditch, raising a palisade, setting the stakes. You have built the same camp in Moesia, in Macedonia, in Dacia. The ditch is always 4 feet deep. The wall is always 6 feet high. The Romans discovered that a soldier who has spent 2 hours building a wall will die before he lets someone through it. The camp is not a defensive position. It is a psychological one. In battle, your position is the 3rd rank. You cannot see the front. You push the man ahead of you. He pushes the man ahead of him. The front 2 ranks do the killing. You provide the weight behind it. 16 years before you go home, if home is still there. But tonight, you don't dig the ditch. You haven't dug a ditch in 4 months. The men in your contubernium watch you walk past with your writing tablet while they pick up their delabre. They don't say anything. They just watch. You are a librarius, the century's clerk. You maintain the pay records, the sick list, the punishment log, the names of the dead. You know who owes what. You know whose service record has a gap from the winter of the 2nd year that was never explained. The centurion commands the century, but you remember it. 60 different specialist categories qualify for this status. Medics, surveyors, blacksmiths, trumpeters, all the same class. Too valuable to waste on ditch duty. The army discovered early that it cannot function on brute muscle alone. Skill is the only escape from the hierarchy of labor. Your status can be revoked. It is not a rank. It is a relationship. Your exemption lasts as long as your centurion finds you useful. You are spending every day performing competence for an audience of 1. For others, exemption comes with a different price. The watchword tonight is Fortuna. You carry it on a clay tile the size of your palm. Every sentry gets 1 look, no touching. At dawn, you collect them all and smash them. Tomorrow night it is a different word. You are the only man in the camp who knows it before the centurion writes it. Your pay is 1.5 times standard, 450 denarii. Not for the authority, for the sleep. You do not sleep through a full night for years. The army has quietly purchased your circadian rhythm. You walk the perimeter 4 times before sunrise, lantern in hand, checking 20 posts. Every check goes into the wax tablet. The report lands on the centurion's table at dawn. The night rounds are also surveillance. You walk the camp while everyone else sleeps. You see who is in whose tent, who is drunk, who is having a conversation that stops when a lantern appears. The centurion receives your report each morning. It is never entirely about the sentries. When the battle lines form, you stand at the back of the century. not because you are a coward, because you are the wall. Your job is to stand behind the last rank with a long staff, the hay-style iron ball on the tip, and ensure that no one walks backward through you. The Romans understood something that no general writes down. Discipline is not about courage. It is about making retreat cost more than advance. The man in the front rank does not know your name. He does not need to. He only needs to know that there is no way out behind him. Your pay is double standard, 600 denarii. You manage the paperwork for 80 men. You know their records better than their mothers do. You have served 15 years. You may serve 15 more before a centurionship opens. Promotion requires a patron. Military excellence is necessary, but not sufficient. You have learned this. Then comes the step into command. You carry a stick cut from a grapevine. Every man in your century has felt it or seen it used. You do not raise your voice. You do not need to. When you walk down the line and a man's sandal lace is loose, you tap his ankle with the vitis. He fixes it before your next step lands. There are 59 grades of centurionship in this legion. You occupy the 31st. There is always exactly one step above you. This is deliberate. The Roman army designed a system where a man can always see the next promotion and never needs to look for the exit. You fight at the front, right of your century in battle. You are identifiable by the horsehair crest mounted sideways on your helmet. The enemy knows that killing a centurion breaks a century more efficiently than killing 10 ordinary soldiers. This rank is a death sentence offered at a higher salary, roughly 1,500 denarii a year. You accepted it. The beating must happen in public, not in private, not later. The discipline is a performance. Private correction teaches one man. Public correction teaches 80. Decades pass. You have served 41 years. You have been in 7 provinces and 3 wars. When the legate holds his council, you are in the room. The tribunes are 25 years old, and their fathers sent them here for their careers. You were born here. Everyone knows it. No one says it. You command the first cohort, 800 men, double strength. You earn 25,000 denarii a year. The legate earns approximately the same. You have both arrived at the same number from completely different directions. He got here through the Senate. You got here through Moesia, through Pannonia, through the Iron Gates Gorge in winter, with a century that lost 11 men to cold. You serve as primus pilus for exactly 1 year. After that, you are automatically entered into the equestrian order, the second tier of Roman aristocracy. The army does not just use its best men, it converts them into aristocrats and releases them into civilian governance. 40 years of military capital becomes social capital in 12 months. The transaction is efficient, but at the very top, the rules change entirely. You have never dug a ditch. You have never carried a pack. You arrived at this legion with a letter from the emperor and a staff of 30 men who had arrived the day before. The primus pilus briefed you for 3 hours on your first morning. You listened carefully. He knows things about this army that you will need 4 months to learn. Your career before this command, quaestor, then praetor, then this posting, 12 years in the Senate. You have attended more votes than battles. The assignment is not a reward for military skill. It is a test of political reliability. Trajan needs to know that the man commanding 5,000 soldiers in Dacia will not use them to bid for power. Your entire senatorial career was the audition. A successful Dacian campaign means a consulship. A failed one means obscurity, and not just yours. Your father's connections, your son's future appointments. A Roman legion is a political asset being risked for social capital. You remember this every morning when the primus pilus arrives with the overnight report. And at the absolute peak, you are the only man in the empire who cannot be promoted. There is no rank above you. There is no one to impress. You ride to the front line, not because it is required, but because it is the only place where what you decide and what happens are the same thing. The Senate is far away. The men bleeding in the snow are right here. You have declared war 6 times, 13 legions, the largest mobilization since Augustus. The campaign has taken 3 years and cost a number of lives that your scribes track in a ledger you have not read. What you have read is the inventory from Decebalus's treasury, 700,000 pounds of gold, 1.4 million pounds of silver, the largest single infusion of precious metal into the Roman economy in a century. None of it went to the army. It went to the public, the forum, the column, the alimenta, the program that feeds the children of poor families across Italy. You understood something that does not appear in military doctrine. Conquest requires domestic consent, and consent is purchased with bread and games and the visible conversion of foreign suffering into Roman abundance. You do not need to fight. You have not needed to fight since you became emperor. The army fights, the money flows, the children of Italy eat. Your face appears 58 times on a column you commissioned to commemorate a war you survived. At the bottom of that column, somewhere, there is a recruit who cannot yet hold a real sword. He is hitting a wooden post in the cold. He does not know your name. He knows only that someone, somewhere, needs him to keep going. That is the arrangement. It has always been the arrangement. 9 levels, 1 machine. The man who cannot be promoted and the man who cannot be trusted with iron will never meet. But the distance between them is the exact length of an empire.